next 6 hours. This might take just a second for it to kind of catch up here. Let's see here if it will play now. Okay, it's not going to let me do that since I'm in live mode here. But anyway, we did have some good showers and storms that were over this area here. Where you see the green polygon there, that is where heavy rain came in, and it moved very slowly to the southwest at only about 5 miles per hour. And that was earlier today around 5 o'clock when the National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning that's going to be in effect until 10 o'clock. Now, it hasn't rained there in a long time, and there's no rain falling over that warning right now, but they made this warning last for numerous hours just because of all the heavy rain that we had that would lead to creeks and streams, and that runoff may cause some rising water. We don't have any reports of anything drastic going on right there, but again, this is going to be in effect for about another hour, less than an hour here for parts of Fannin and Union County, and that's because of the very heavy rain that we had earlier today. In fact, you can see here where this is our Doppler radar that can estimate how much rain has fallen. And it's showing, we did have a red little bit right here on the county line a little bit earlier, indicating around almost 3 inches of rain and even over 3 inches in some spots. The purple color here indicates where we've seen those areas between 2 and 3 inches, actually around 2 inches. And then the blue color surrounding that is where we had rainfall totals that were around an inch. But it was just this bullseye area right here on the county line between Fannin County and over into Union County, where we saw some of that heaviest of the rain, and that's what prompted that flash flood warning. Now we have some other showers there that are again south and west of that main area that we saw earlier. And this was all developing here back into Gilmer County, and then we have these developing in Murray County and Whitfield County. This moved through Gordon County at Calhoun. We had some really heavy rain there. We even had some reports of some small hail in association with that push through. But again, it stayed below what we would classify as a severe thunderstorm. And now we have this approaching Rome right now. We did have a little bit of lightning there in northern Floyd County. We have some other showers here south of the Somerville area. But this is where we're seeing some of that heavier rain that's coming through those areas right now up near the Rome area, between Armuchee and Rome, and also stretching over toward Lyerly right now. And this is drifting down toward the south, approaching Rome. You're going to get some good showers there, moderate to heavy at times, and it's moving very slowly. So what we're noticing is, as it's moving slowly, it is also beginning to weaken a little bit in intensity. It's not quite as strong as it was just a little bit earlier. Now compare that with what's going on here in the metro area, and we're dry, and we've been dry out there today. And we do expect over the next couple of days here, especially on Friday and into Saturday, that most of us will be dry again. We're going to hold on to just a 20% chance for a couple of isolated showers around, but we really don't expect anything widespread to be moving through our area here as we continue through the next couple of days, as it's going to be mainly dry. It's just going to be some heat and humidity that could cause some of those showers that we have in our area. And so when you look at over our entire area, that's all that we have there in parts of Chattooga County as well as into areas of Floyd County, and those are going to be diminishing pretty soon. And even down into South Georgia, not a lot going on. Some near the Florida line with some thunder and lightning. The southeast coast is fine. We're seeing this moisture, though, that's building here out in the Atlantic. It's pushing some of that into South Carolina and North Carolina. And really, an easterly and southeasterly flow is what's going to be more common for us through the weekend and even into next week. And that's when we're going to see our rain chances going back up a little bit going into Sunday as well as into Monday. Now, I'm going to put this up full screen because I know this is kind of hard to see, but this is our view from our tower cam there in Rome. And I pointed the camera up to the north, so we don't see a lot of street lights here. We just see some of those in the roof of this building. But we were watching that north of Rome here, that darker cloud that's moving in, and that's what has the rain in association with it as that rain is pushing down toward the south, toward the Rome area. So I bet at any moment now, we're going to see some of that good rain coming in here. Compare that to Atlanta, where this is our live view, where we have a beautiful view over our city right now. We have some mainly clear skies. There you see the moon over the city of Atlanta as well, and not really dealing with any kind of rain that is moving through through our area in the city right now. And it's going to remain dry as we go through the rest of the nighttime hours tonight too. And then this is our view right now from our tower cam in DeKalb County at Arizona Avenue, looking westward. And even though we're fine here in the city, looking out toward the west, we do see some of those clouds there in the distance. Now, notice this, where if you normally watch us at 9 o'clock for this extended weather update here streaming or on YouTube, a lot of times we still see some light of day, and we do see some of that now, but the sunset times are much earlier now. We're talking about 11:30-ish, 11:34, 11:35-ish when we see the sun going down. So now when we do these 9 o'clock updates, most of us and most of our tower cams are looking rather dark out there. Now, earlier we reported that we had a high temperature that made it into right around 82 degrees, but then it bumped up to 83 at 6 o'clock. So the high temperature comes out around 4:45 every day. It's climatological data that we get from the National Weather Service. But sometimes, even after they give us the official high for the day, the temperature may go up a little bit again. And usually between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, they put out an additional climatological update. And now it's saying the high temperature today was 85 degrees, which is where we were yesterday. And what happened was, we had a lot of clouds around earlier today that was blocking out that sunshine, but then in the later afternoon hours, we started seeing more sunshine break through, and that's helped to bump that temperature up to 85. Still 5 degrees below the average. 90 degrees is our average high for this time of year, and the record is 101. We haven't had any rain officially here in Atlanta today, so we're now back to a deficit. We're about 7/100ths of an inch below where we should be in rainfall. And I know it's kind of hard to believe with all that rain and the soggy weather that it seemed like we were dealing with for the first part of the week, but a lot of that was really light stuff that didn't really add a lot to the rainfall bucket here. So here's that low this morning that made it down into the lower 70s, upper 60s in some spots. And then this is how we started rising today. By 3 o'clock, we were still only in the 70s at 79 degrees. But then we started seeing some of those clouds breaking up and some of the sun breaking through. And that helped us to bump up to 83 degrees at 6 o'clock. And it's really in this time frame here between 5 and after 6 o'clock when we hit that high of 85 degrees. Now, right now, it is still rather mild out there. We're at 79, but at least we've gone below the 80s at this hour. But Atlanta is one of the warmer spots. Now, Marietta 1 degree lower at 78, but then outside the city, we have mid-70s, even some lower 70s right now in Athens at 72 degrees, and 60s in Blairsville and also in Clayton, feeling a little bit cooler up there. So tomorrow morning in town, we're thinking we're going to be around 69 degrees to start the day. Then moving up to 80 degrees by lunchtime, topping off at 85 in the afternoon. I think we'll do it again. And tomorrow's going to be another one of those days with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. And we're not really showing any raindrops here on this daily planner, but just know there is a 20% chance for an isolated shower that could occur anywhere here over Metro Atlanta or North Georgia. I really think any chances for rain might be a little higher up in far North Georgia, similar to what they had there for today. Right now, mainly dry. We're going to stay dry through the overnight hours. Tomorrow morning, we'll have sunshine mixing in with a few clouds, but I want you to see these arrows still coming out of the northeast and more of an easterly type flow there. Not really a strong wedge or anything, but still enough of an easterly flow that keeps these temperatures below average, which again, 90 is our average high for this time of year. So mid 80s would still be trending a little bit below that average. So we're going to keep this for the next few days. Still not really overly concerned about rain. I know that on this animation, you can see a little bit of green showing up here and there. That's just that 20% chance of an isolated shower. I really think most of us will get through the day tomorrow without seeing any rain. And it's going to be a very similar pattern going into Saturday. Still that northeasterly flow, keeping us mainly dry. A few clouds mixing in. Temperatures still, we think, holding in those middle 80s into Saturday. I want you to notice, though, a little bit more of that moisture. We're going to get more of a feed or an influence from Atlantic moisture that's going to try to start pushing in here. And I do think we will see more of that coming in on Sunday. You kind of see as we progress through the day here, it's not showing a lot of rain, but there will be a better chance for some of these showers to make it into our area. In fact, on Sunday, we're going to go with about a 40% chance for some scattered showers, and then the rain chance even a little bit higher here on Monday as well. So here's a look at those rain chances on the graph, and you can kind of see the differences and some of the ups and downs. Low rain chances here Friday and Saturday. Then we go up to 40% Sunday, 50% Monday, and then a 40% chance for showers here for your Tuesday. And look at these temperatures. They're going to be pretty much holding steady in the mid 80s over the next few days. We're thinking we'll be at 85 tomorrow, 86 Saturday, 85 Sunday, 84 Monday. Again, these are the days that we think will have more clouds around and a better chance for showers. And then on Tuesday, possibly, even though we're going to hold on to some rain chances, we do think we'll bump up to around 87 degrees, so some warmer air and more humid air trying to push back up into our area. All right, we've got a lot to watch here in the tropics, and here we are in the beginning to the middle of August. This is the time frame when things start to get more active out in the Atlantic and in the Gulf and in the Caribbean. So remember, we were talking about Dexter. That storm is pretty much moving away, and it's no longer classified as a tropical storm. Even though those winds are still at tropical storm strength, it is a subtropical system and a remnant system that's now moving up to the north. It doesn't really have the tropical characteristics still. However, we still have a couple of other areas that we're going to be watching here. We have this system that is still just off the Atlantic coast. Now, earlier, this was down around here, off, closer, parallel to the Georgia coast and South Carolina coast. It's generally moving up toward the north and east. Still not a closed low or anything, but once it gets into this area that is in yellow, this is going to be an area that might be a little more conducive for some tropical development. But if you'll notice here, those chances for development have gone down. It's now a 10% chance of developing over the next 2 days and a 20% chance over the next 7 days. So that's not really likely for a tropical depression or a tropical storm to develop, but it's something we'll keep watching. And then the big news about this is it's going to move away. So it really wouldn't have any impact on us or really much of an impact on the Atlantic coastline. There is another one, though, that is out in the far eastern Atlantic. No closed low with that yet, but once this moves into this area that's in the orange color, that's where the conditions are going to be a little more likely for a tropical depression or a tropical storm to develop. In fact, those chances are at about 60% for development over the next 7 days. But the long-range models also show this kind of curving away from the United States, so we don't think that would impact us either. Our long-range models are showing, though, another potential system developing off the coast of Africa that could make it a little bit more across the Atlantic. Too early. I know you may be seeing stuff on social media where people say they know where this next system is going to go. The models are just throwing out a lot of different scenarios right now, and we know as meteorologists that we just have to keep an eye on them, watch for trends, but just because a model says something or you see somebody post something on social media, that doesn't mean that it's definitely going into that area. But again, something that we're going to be watching. In fact, take a look at the European model, and you can still see not a lot of green showing up, just that 20% chance for a shower here tomorrow and into Saturday. Look for the darker green colors. Those are the areas where it's more likely for showers and storms to develop. Now on Sunday, rain chance does go up to 40%, then a 50% chance for showers on Monday, and then we hold on to some 40% chances for showers on Tuesday, also into Wednesday, and then we'll hold on to those rain chances, the scattered variety, heading into next week. So there's the 7-day forecast. You can see those temperatures, mid-80s, as we said there, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but those rain chances going up from 20% Friday and Saturday to 40% Sunday, 50% chances for showers Monday and Tuesday, back to 30% Wednesday and Thursday. Notice those temperatures too, from the mid-80s to the upper 80s, back to 90 degrees, back to average once we get into next Thursday. Thanks so much for watching this extended weather update here on 11 Alive Plus and Weather Impact 24/7. We'll continue going with maps for you, so you can keep an eye on radar and those temperatures and the forecast maps, as well as more live extended weather updates for you coming up during the day tomorrow. We hope you'll have a great night.